If you want to see me create my first look with the Platinum Bronze palette by Pat McGrath, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène, and yes, we are going to play with the Platinum Bronze palette by Pat McGrath. I have swatched this palette. If you have not seen that video, I will put it right there for you. 6 shadows. It is a mini palette from Pat McGrath, and it looks something like this. There we go, and I'm going to take off the plastic because it is blinding. And hopefully I can remember the colors. Now there are 6 shadows as I mentioned, and in the swatching video I mentioned that I was interested in using these 2, and Carly is also interested in seeing a look with this kind of a purpley shadow. So that is what I'm going to do today. Now I do have a base on my eyes. You can see liner, mascara, and I have kind of a just a beige color on most of my lid. I'll show you what that is. I'll show you the 2 things that I have on my lid actually. This is the one that I have on my lid here. It's Wheat from the Smashbox Matte Exposure palette. And I also have on my brow bone the Venus from the Naked Basics palette. So this is from this palette. And the Matte Exposure is the other palette. And as a base, I have the Complexionista number 2 Boing Concealer. So you know everything that is on my eye so far. For anything else on my face, brows, lips, complexion products, please look at the description box. It will all be listed there for you. Now let's get to the job at hand. So the 2 colors that we will be using are Deep Velvet and Ritualistic. So let's get right into it. I'm going to use the matte first to do outer crease, outer lid, going into more of the eye, and I'm probably going to use it as well on the outer to center lower lash line. Not sure exactly how much I'm going to use. We'll see how it goes. But that is the look I'm thinking of doing. And it looks like I'm also going to use Platinize, probably. I'll probably use this one as well on the brow bone over Venus, just to kind of use as many shadows in the look as makes sense. I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to start applying the shadows. The first brush I'm going to use is a Sephora brush called the Rounded Crease brush. Pretty basic name. And I'm going to go into that Deep Velvet, the only matte in the palette, and just get into the crease. I'll probably use a more dense brush to intensify the color, but I just want to lay down a base over the wheat color that I mentioned earlier that I had. I apologize for the mascara. I had other stuff going on today, and so I had to have a full look to go out and about and do things. And so I'm applying over top. It was either that or no video, so I figured you'd be okay with it. So here we go. So I started off more intensely on the outer lid and just using whatever's left on the brush to dissipate the color as I go. That is spreading really nicely. It's a nice matte. Okay, I'm going to go in with that more dense brush I mentioned earlier and just intensify the outer lid and outer crease. And this is the brush I'm going to use, and I'm so happy I have all my brushes nice and clean. If you want to see how I clean my brushes, I'll put that video right there. And it is the Smashbox Full Coverage Shadow Brush is what I'm going to be using. And it's very dense, you can tell. It's going to pack on the color pretty easily. And I'm not tapping off, I'm going to go straight on because I didn't take too much. Look at how much more opacity I get with this brush. Really nice. I'm going right into about the middle of the crease, stamping it, and I'll go back with my fluffier crease brush to dissipate the color. That, I think, is looking pretty nice. I'm going to put a little bit more on. It's not quite as opaque on the lash line. And I'll worry about the fallout later. Okay, I'm happy with that. I will do the other eye after I'm done with this one matte color. I think what I want to do, oh yeah, Fallout City. What I want to do is go back in with that crease brush I mentioned earlier, put a little bit more of that deep velvet on this brush and just smooth the harsher line that I created with the denser brush. And again, pretty effortless. Okay, we're going to take that whole color down to the lower lash line, and for that I'm going to use my angled brush. It's from the same set of 5 brushes that I got the crease brush from, and this one is called the Angled Shadow Brush, and I'm going to put the shadow on just one side of the brush, this side here, sorry, didn't mean to use my middle finger, just so that I don't have too much going on and I can always build it up. Just picking up whatever kick up I have here and going in, just kind of stamping it first for precision. Oh yeah. It's almost like it sticks to the eye. That's really great. That looks like I spent a lot more effort and time than I have. I'm just going to put a little bit more. This is turning into quite the nice smoky eye, isn't it? Cool. Okay. I think I'm going to go in with just a tiny bit more. And I'm going to go back in with my crease brush and just soften up a little bit on the outer lid. Outer lower lid, that is. Back and forth, back to my angled brush. I would say that's not too bad. Now I do want to carry over the deep velvet. I think it's called deep velvet. Yeah. I want to carry it over, but just in a deeper but narrower line across. So I'm going to use my very tiny smudger brush to do just that. And this is it right here. And it is the Detail Smudger brush, I think. Precise Smudger brush. Again, into deep velvet. And so I have it only on one side, so I can stay precise with it. I find if I put it right on the end, it's not precise enough. But if I go on one side, I can just angle my brush as much as I need to get it to do exactly what I want. There we go. I really like this. I'm going to do more liner on the upper lash line, but I want to finish the other shadow first. Ritualistic is going to have to be on there before I do this on the top lash line. So I'm going to leave that as is. I'm going to go and do the brow bone and then recreate what I have here on the other eye. For the brow bone, I like to use a fluffier brush, and this is the shadow brush. It doesn't say anything else. It's from the Smoke Show, I think Smoke or Smoky Eye set of 5 from Sephora. And we're going to use, not Ritualistic, it's Platinize. Platinize on the brow bone. So I'll do that right now. A little goes a long way often for brow bone, so I didn't put a whole lot on the brush. Very blingy, very blingy. I may put that on the inner corner as well later, but that is all I want to do right now on that eye. I'm going to reproduce it, like I said, on the other eye, and then we'll go with Ritualistic. Okay, so back to the crease brush. Okay, I'm pretty happy with where the look is at right now, and I feel like I can go into Ritualistic, which is kind of the mauve-y color. And I'm going to go from the inner lid to probably 2/3 of the lid, and then go back in with Deep Velvet to do the liner on the top lid. I think those are the only 2 things I have left to do, and I did do some sweeping away of the fallout because it was starting to be distracting to me, and I figured I was going to mess up the look. So I did take some of the fallout off my face. So we're going to go into this one, Ritualistic, which is the one I mentioned earlier. And for that, I'm going to use my favorite brush, and it is the Pyramidal Multitasker brush from Smashbox. What's the official name? Multitasking Detail Brush. I really like it, and it's showing that it was recently washed because it wasn't as fluffy. This is what it normally looks like. There we go. I just had to fluff it up a little bit. Right into Ritualistic on one of the sides of the brush, tapping off the excess, and we're going to go right in. I'm really starting to like looking up. I mean, looking down, having my eye up for the inner to center lid detail work. I find I get up higher in the crease, and it gives me less of a weird line. If I have weird line, I have less of it as I look at my eye look throughout the day. So I am definitely big on that change. It's a definite nice metallic mauve. It's almost like between a mauve and a rose gold. I really like it. I think I have enough on now. I'm going to go to my finger and put some on my finger and keep going. I find that the finger really stamps down the shadow nicely. And there's one eye done. And now other side. I have some patchiness just up here, just as I get that angle going. I'm just going to take care of that while I can. Okay, there we go. I think I've evened out the color on both sides. Back to this one. It's amazing what you can see when you angle your eye differently. Not a bad thing to do. Nice. Okay, now for my finger, going in again in that shadow and stamping along. I really like that. I'm just going to use the crease brush just to make sure that I have an even line on both sides with whatever's left on the brush. I didn't add anything. That's quite pretty. I like it so far. Look at that color, right? Very nice. We talked about, or royal we, I talked about using my detailed smudger brush again for the upper lash line, which is what I'm going to do right now. And I'm going to go back into that deep velvet, the matte, and get that done. And I really want to be very precise and close to the lash line, so I'm going to take my time. I want the intensity. Not going overly precise, but quite precise. I think we're looking more for the smoky look. Otherwise, I would have gone with a liquid liner. But it is nice to know how these shadows work. This is the spot I always have trouble with, right there. Let's see if I can avoid messing it up. I don't see much difference between the two eyes, but I'm sure it's adding a nice little touch. I did have the Urban Decay 0 on the upper waterline from this morning, so it may be dampening the effect that I'm getting from Deep Velvet on the upper lash line. I'm okay with where this has gone. I'm going to wipe off the fallout that I have on both sides. Deep Velvet seems to be giving me a lot of fallout. It's a matte, not that unusual. And what I'm going to do is reapply my mascara on the top lashes. I only did one coat this morning. And I don't think I need to do very much more. So let's do that and I'll be right back. Okay, I am back, and here is what I decided to do. I did put on the Urban Decay 0 again on my upper waterline. So just reapplied. It's something that I had on my eyes when I started the video. And I did reapply the Lancome Hypnose mascara. I think it's Hypnose Drama mascara. I had one coat on, I put on a second one. And then I did not like the lipstick effect of finishing the eye look and the mauve-y lipstick that I had because I felt like the two mauves were clashing. Let me show you what I had on. This is the one that I had on. It's Very Victoria by Charlotte Tilbury. I'll do a swatch of that one. And it's supposed to be mauve, but it's not that mauve. And it just didn't seem to go that well with my eye look, so I took it off. And I was debating between two Urban Decay lipsticks. This one, which is Voodoo, which is the one I'm wearing right now, and Liquid, which is one of my absolute favorites. It looks deeper than it is. It's a sheer lipstick. And I really think both of them could have done well. This one would have gone well with Deep Velvet, I think, and this one, I think, goes better with Ritualistic. And obviously, Voodoo won out. It's a sparkly metallic lipstick, and I felt that the metallic shimmer in the lipstick would go well with Ritualistic, which is what I decided to do. And I also have the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray on. So that's everything that I did. It is a deep, vampy look, no question, but I like it. I think it looks pretty good. I think this was a perfectly fine first impressions with the Pat McGrath platinum bronze palette. So once again, just going to show you the palette again. So we used Deep Velvet, Ritualistic, and Platinize. Those are the, no, Platinize is up here. So Deep Velvet, Ritualistic, and Platinize this one. So what do you think? What do you think of the look? I would love to know in the comments. Let me know what you think of a purpley brown look with this palette. Do you have any other requested shadows in this palette? Let me know, because it is definitely part of the palette collection roulette this time around. If you have not seen the intro to that, I will put it right here for you. But I'm done. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.